So on my Patreon, there was this guy. I've been in touch with him before. He DM'd me on Patreon, and the guy was telling me that he had gone on 3 dates with some girl, and he developed romantic feelings for her, right? But she was friend zoning him. Oh man, 3 dates? 3? When he said he'd gone on 3 dates and nothing had happened, and that was the mistake. Yeah! Because see, a first date, that's when you gotta close the deal. Okay? You gotta make, what do I mean by closing the deal? Do you have to fuck the girl on the first date? No. What you have to make it really clear is that you're not interested in being friends with some girl. No, you want to be a boyfriend, girlfriend, type situation. You don't want to be friends. You want to make it clear that you want a physical escalation. You ultimately want to wind up with sex, sure, and potentially more, sure. But on the first date, it has to be really fucking clear what you're after. And so your goal on the first date is to get at least a kiss out of the girl at the end of it. That's your goal. When I talk about first dates, see, each generation seems to view it differently, okay? But a good rule of thumb is basically an outing between a man and a woman for the first time alone with no other company, with the possibility that it is romantic, as opposed to going out, like, for instance, like, I don't know, going out together specifically to do something for, like, I don't know, like a youth group or a class or work or whatever. That's not a first date. That's just a man and a woman going out and doing something together because they have to do it. No. When I talk about a first date, it's they go out for no other reason than to spend time with each other. That's a first date, okay? And at the end of that first date, you should be kissing her. Absolutely. Now, how do you do this? How do you get up to kiss a girl? Okay, a lot of guys have a lot of hang-ups about this. They're very confused, and they're very worried, and they're very afraid and frightened and all the rest of it. Dude, it's simplicity itself, okay? What you have to do is, during the date with a woman, okay, this first date, right? What you want to do is be sitting next to her, right? You're talking to her and sitting next to her wheresoever you might happen to be. You're at a restaurant, or you're walking down the street, wherever it is, wherever this date is taking place. And you want to be, with your right hand, you want to be touching her, okay? Not grabbing her ass, no. When I say touching her, I say putting your hand on her hand, but like in a gentle manner, like this is her hand and you put your hand on hers. When you emphasize a point, putting it and removing it, that's what you do. Place and remove, okay? That's how you do, that's how you physically escalate. First the hand, then the forearm, yeah? After a little while, and she's comfortable in your physical presence, right? Where you escalate up to, you put your hand on her knee. But remember, you always put your hand, hold it, squeeze the body part, and then remove it, okay? You don't want to linger, okay? And for God's sake, no matter what happens, your hand better not be fucking sweaty, okay? I mean, if you are one of those guys unfortunate guys, whose palms sweat, well then put on like fucking talcum powder before you go out or some shit like that. Or be sure it's dry before you put your hand on any part of a woman's body, because there is nothing more of a turnoff than clammy hands. Nothing, okay? Yeah, you put a clammy hand on a girl, and to her, you know what's going to feel like? It's going to feel like a dead fish. And who wants to fuck a dead fish? No one. Yeah, so put your hand on her hand, then your hand on her forearm, then your hand on her knee, and then you put your hand on her thigh, but very quickly. Almost so quickly that it's, how can I put this? You leave it for not more than 2 seconds on her thigh, and it's always to emphasize a point that you are telling her, okay? Notice, you always put your hand on her hand or her forearm or her knee or her thigh when you are speaking, and you do so to emphasize a point of what you're saying, okay? And see, if she's smiling at you when you do this, you got it made, okay? If she's like smiling at you and she likes it when you touch her to emphasize a point, you're on your way. But likewise, of course, if you put your hand on her hand or her forearm or her knee or her thigh and she removes it, oh buddy, cut the date short, because it ain't gonna happen, okay? but there are exceptions, because sometimes you can be a little too fast and the girl is basically removing your hand, like saying, hey, oh, hold it, Buster. Okay, hold it. Hold your horses, slow down here. Okay, that is actually a good sign. Okay, I mean, it all takes a little bit of feeling, a little bit of finesse, a little bit of experience. You see what I'm saying? See, because it could be that the girl is removing your hand from her hand because she finds it disgusting, or it could be that she is removing your hand from her thigh because she doesn't want you to get the wrong idea about her, but she's really into you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it depends on the context and how she does it, and you know, a whole host of factors, okay? So don't automatically assume that if a girl removes your hand, she's rejecting you. No, it could well be that she's just, you know, slow down, but she's enjoying where she's going with you, but she just wants you to take it a little bit easy, okay? If she removes your hand and you try to do it again and she leaves it on, then you're okay. You're on the right track. Now you do all this shit, right? You like squeeze her hand, squeeze her forearm, squeeze her knees, squeeze her thigh, gently, okay? Always gently, firm, like you know, like you've got some muscle there, like you're not some, like it's not like a dead fish. Again, you know, dead fish is the death of the relationship, okay? Firmly, but not that it hurts, okay? I mean, if she winces when you squeeze her, then you're kind of fucked, okay? You're doing it wrong, okay? Okay, so you do all this stuff, right? And you go through the date and you're having a good time and she's laughing and she's liking the physical contact and what have you, okay. Always remember that you want to cut the date short. You want to cut it short. You never want to overstay your welcome. You never want the date to be over long, okay? Yeah, because it's boring, okay? Or let me rephrase it. See, there comes a point in the date where the girl has made up her mind whether she wants to see you again or not. See you again with a potential for it to be a relationship, right? If that happens, that usually happens like after about an hour, no, earlier, between the 20-minute mark and the hour-long mark, okay? Depending on factors that are beyond the scope of this video, of course. But the point I'm trying to make, a girl is going to naturally kind of like figure out, okay, you know, this guy, yeah, I want to see him again and potentially fuck him, okay? Remember, a girl who wants to see you again, she's already made up her mind that potentially she can imagine herself fucking you, okay? So anyway, you go through the first date, right? And you know, you've been there like with her for 45 minutes from the time you saw her until that moment, right? At the 45-minute to 1 hour mark, when she is laughing and having a good time, that's when you say, oh, I wish we could continue, but I gotta go. Yeah, and you be firm about it. Don't fuck around. Yeah, it could be that you have the whole afternoon or evening wide open, right? But at the hour mark, fucking 90 minutes tops, you call it a night. You call it a date. You call it, okay? You say that you're done and that you gotta go. It doesn't matter why, but you gotta go. Always leave them wanting more. This is a rule in comedy. It's a rule in life. Okay? Always leave them wanting more. Now, if she is disappointed, you're set. Okay? If she's like, oh, come on, don't do that, and she starts to pout a little that you gotta go, you got it made. Don't stay. Okay? Don't fucking stay. Okay? If she pouts and is unhappy that the date is ending, you got it made. You could only fuck it up if you continue. Okay? So, no. She says that, oh, stay, whatever you, no, you gotta go. I mean, you got it made and you are definitely gonna get a second date out of this shit, right? But at the same time, if you stay, what'll happen is that she's gonna take you for granted. And she's gonna realize that you're easy to push around, yeah? And all guys, myself included, all guys, we're easy to push around by a girl, sure. I mean, she just has to smile at us and like say, pretty please, and what have you, and we're pushovers, right? Now, the thing is, see, in a first date, you don't want that to be the overarching impression that you leave, okay? Because if she has this impression early on that you are a pusher, that all she has to do is pout and say pretty please and you'll do whatever she wants, then you're fucked. She's gonna take you for granted and potentially view you as a beta orbiter, okay, which is a bad thing. No, you don't want that. You want her to know that when you say you gotta go, and that's it. And no amount of pouting or bullshit from her is going to change the fact, okay? Okay, so you call it a date, you know, she pouts and what have you, right? and you tell her, I'll walk you to your car or the bus or wherever the fuck, okay? You'll walk her to that point of separation. And here comes the key moment. See, during the date, suppose you're at a restaurant, right? And you've been sitting next to her. And remember, when you're at a restaurant, never sit across from a girl. It's confrontational. Sit next to her. Whatever you do, make it sure that she is sitting next to you on your right-hand side, so you can touch her hand, touch her forearm, touch her knee, and touch her thigh, right? Right. So during the date, right, you could, if things are going well, right, you could say at some point, oh, I want to kiss you, or can I kiss you, or whatever. You know, just ask to kiss her, and she'll likely say no, but it'll be on the table, okay? You always want to do that. I mean, if things are going well, in the initial, say, 30 minutes, at the 30-minute point, roughly, right? Things are going well with the date, right? Okay, so you hit her with, I want to kiss you line, right? You can frame it as a question. Can I kiss you? Okay, but not like supplicating. No, that's a fucking mistake. Okay, when it's like, please, can I kiss you? Because I'm a little faggot bitch. Well, no, she's not gonna want to fucking kiss a little faggot bitch. Okay, so no supplication. Just ask like a man. Can I kiss you? Okay. It's hard. It's a good way to put it, because she can say yes or no. If she says yes, you just can go in and kiss her. If she says no, many things are going to be happening. Principally, number one, she's going to know that this is not going to be a friendship, quote unquote. No, this guy wants to get down and dirty. Okay, it's a good way to go. A good way to just mark your line. Okay, number one. Number two, if she says no, she is going to feel that she is in control of the direction of the date, which is what you want. You want to allow her to think that she's in control. Okay? Yeah, sure. So she's going to feel that she's in control because she's going to say no, and you're going to obviously respect those wishes, right? So she's going to feel that this is not a horse that is, that is running free. No, she's got her hands on the rein. Okay, she's going to think that she is directing this horse, but of course the horse, you're going wherever the fuck you want, and where you want is to bed, right? So, it's all good. If she says no, don't worry about it. Okay. Then, like I said, where are we at? Oh yeah, we're getting at the end of the day. Okay, so this is what happens at the end of the day. At the end of the date, when you're standing next to her car, or whatever, you're about to say your goodbyes. You just go in and go for a kiss. You just go for it. And the thing is, since she's going to be right next to her car, or right about to get on the bus, or wherever the fuck you kids split off to nowadays, right? What's going to happen is, she is going to feel that she is in control of the situation because she's about to leave. So she won't have a problem giving you a kiss. Even if she's a little bit ambivalent about whether she wants to make something happen with you or not, yeah? Just the fact that it's at the last minute, and she's gonna leave, she'll leave the door open, okay? And that's what you want. You want to be kissing her before she leaves, okay? So that, number one, there's no doubt whatsoever as to what sort of relationship you want with her. Number two, she is going to be able to see if she is really attracted to you or not, okay? And so you land a kiss on her just before she gets in her car and leaves. Now, when you kiss her, okay, very important, lips, delicate, all that delicate, but your hands are very important. You want to be wrapping your left hand around her waist firmly. Okay, pulling her towards you, pulling her whole body towards you, but your right hand by your side. Okay, I mean, you don't want to be like tackling her. Okay, you have to think of this as dancing, like ballroom dancing. In point of fact, if you've never done ballroom dancing, I suggest you do so. Okay, waltz are great. Waltz, well, what the fuck you think waltz was invented for? It was invented for courtship, for crying out loud, right? For a man and a woman to feel really up close and personal, right? But all in the semblance of a dance, right? Of a public spectacle, you know. So there's some decorum, but at the same time, there's a great deal of physicality going on, right? That can teach you a lot about this move that I'm telling you right now. What you do is, when you're at that moment, you're standing next to her car or whatever. You reach over, you reach around her, you put your arm around her waist, pull her into you. You don't lean into her, you pull her into you. Yeah? You plant a kiss gently with the lips, right? But very firm and in control with your left hand and your right hand by your side. And for God's sake, don't feel her up, okay? Don't feel her up. The first kiss on a date, no. If you start like feeling her up like a fucking adolescent little bitch, like a little faggot, bumbling 15-year-old fool, you're gonna turn her off. Yeah, no, you got to get her hot and bothered before you start feeling her up. Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, patience, child. Yeah, patience is rewarded. All good things come to those who wait. Take your time. There's no rush. Okay. Give her a good kiss, okay? Make her feel that you are in control of her body, in control of the situation, and yet at the same time, do it, like I said before, at a moment just before you two separate, because that will make her feel confident and secure and in control, okay? Or at least give her that illusion, right? Yeah. Now you've done all this, right? You escalated physically, by the way I told you, by emphasizing your words, by touching her hand, her forearm, her knee, and her thigh, mid-thigh, not upper thigh, right? You do that during the course of the date. You try to give her a kiss in the half hour to 45-minute mark of the date while you're sitting together at the restaurant or wherever the fuck, right? And then, when you are splitting up and going your separate ways, you give her a kiss at the end of it, right? And she goes on her separate way. She goes her way, you go your way, right? And of course, what do you do the day after? You go on another date with somebody else. Of course, okay? You want to just churn and burn, baby. Churn and burn. Go through girls, okay? Because there are some girls that are going to stick around, and some that are going to be just catch and release. So the next day you go on another date, or even better yet, you go on this first date at lunchtime, and then at nighttime you go on another. 2 for 1. That's how you do it. This is how you do it. You go through girls, right? Now the girl you had a date with, it went well. You kissed her at the end, and all good and fine, right? See, once you have kissed her, the ball's on her court. Okay? It really is. There is nothing more for you to do. Okay? If you call her or text her or anything, it's just going to hurt your fucking cause. It's going to make you look desperate. So nix that, okay? You got to wait for her to call you. Her to call you or text you or whatever the fuck. And if she's smart and she's been around and she knows what's what, she knows the game, it'll be 2, maybe 3 days, okay? Before she calls you. But she will call you. Now, if she calls you in the first day, she's really, really fucking eager to see you, okay? And you're all set. You're on your way, okay? All you have to do is keep it cool and consistently escalate. I mean, you got a kiss on the first date, right? And so the second date, what's more kissing? Right away, you see her on the second date, you give her a big sloppy, well, not sloppy, but a big fat kiss right on the kisser right away on the second date. Yeah, because you already got it. I mean, you never take a step back. This is like fucking Patton, General Patton, right? He never regrouped. He didn't believe in regrouping. He thought it was for pussies, and he kind of is right. You never take a step back. No. You maintain or move forward. Okay. You kissed her at the end of the first date. Beginning of the second date, you give her the same kiss, even more intense. Simple as that. That's how you go on the second date, right? And by the end of the second date, that's when you're definitely feeling her up. That's the escalation. And the third date, you're fucking her. Yeah, simple as that. If you're not fucking her by the third date, okay, then you got to reconsider your investment in time and money in this girl. And I'll tell you right now, if you go on the fourth date and at the end of the fourth date you're not in bed naked with this girl, ditch her. Just next. There are millions of women out there. Yeah, next her. By the fourth date you're not fucking her. Next her. No exceptions, unless she's a virgin. okay? I mean like a real virgin, not a pretend virgin. If she's a real virgin, then okay. Then we're good for a 4th and 5th and 6th date. Fucking marry her, you know. I mean, you want the mother of your child to be a virgin. Nowadays, virgins are thin on the ground, buddy, right? And so, you know, don't throw away a virgin, is what I'm saying, because there are goddamn few of them left over, quite frankly. Okay? Okay. Yeah, but this is assuming, of course, that you have a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th date. Now, if a girl doesn't call you by the 4th day, that's it. It's not going to happen. Don't bother. Okay? I mean, if you want to, you know, make yourself look like a fool, like I did in a video here, if you want to make a fool out of yourself, as I did, but I did have my revenge, but go watch that video and you'll understand. But anyway, if you don't want to make a fool of yourself, you will not contact her. At the end of a successful first date, success being measured by you gave her a kiss that was, we assume, of course, was a fairly good kiss and got her turned on at least a little bit, right? And you went your separate ways. And first day, 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, she doesn't call you, she ain't going to call you. She's not going to be in touch with you. This is not going to happen. Okay? Simple as that. And why it won't happen? It's not you. I want to be fucking crystal clear on that issue. It is not you. Yeah, if there's no 2nd date, the girl doesn't contact you, so for whatever reason, she is just not there. She just doesn't have the headspace to be with you. Simple as that. The fact that she went on the first date with you, okay, is a good sign that she was interested in you. Now, she went on a 2nd date, and for whatever hangups that she's going to have, that more likely than not will have nothing to do with you. She's not going to agree to a 2nd date. More likely than not because she sees that this will go physical, and maybe for whatever reason, she doesn't want to go there. Okay, simple as that. So, you know, a girl rejects you, it's a part of life, okay? You got to keep in mind that I would venture to say that 95% of the things that you do in your life will be failures, because life is a game of numbers, okay? Yeah. And so, yeah, okay, so you went on a first date, and it was a successful first date, and you really liked her, and you kissed her good, and you thought that everything went well, and, you know, and she doesn't call you, and that's it, and you feel all mopey. Well, fucking idiot, for feeling all mopey about it. Why are you feeling mopey about it? You went on a first date with some girl. Maybe she was very, very attractive, right? Maybe she's the hottest girl you've ever been out with, okay? The hottest, smartest, most, you know, intelligent, most charming, most everything girl you ever went out with. You know, you did everything, you know, by the book, perfect. You kissed her really good at the end. You sent her off with a smile and a quick glance goodbye at you as she drove away or whatever the fuck. And you never heard from her again. And you figured that she just didn't like you. Well, you know, that's life. That's life. That's life, and more to the point. You see, no matter how great this girl was, no matter how fantastic she was, there is a better one around the corner. Yeah. There is a better one around the corner. There is always a better one around the corner. And there's always another one around the corner. That's the point, you know? It's the two things. There is always another one, and she's always going to be better. There is, trust me. I know this shit, like I tell you little faggots all the time. I know this shit, not because I'm smarter than you, but because I've been around longer.